In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to quote a brand new machine that we're going to configure that we do not have in inventory. So I'm in CRM. Every time that I'm going to quote a machine, I'm going to go to the same place to start. I'm going to go to customers. I'll pick my customer. And then from here on the account screen, I'm going to go to configure 8 in the top left. Okay. I'll start from the top. Branch, it's a drop down. Select the branch so the correct branch address shows up on the quote. So I'll pick Tampa. Contact, that's the name for the contact at the customer whose name will be on the proposal. And then the other part to do before you do the quote is the ship to and the bill to. So if you click on the little magnifying glass, the ship to, it'll default to the company, to the customer. Okay. And then the bill to. So if you click on the magnifying glass for bill to, we've added VFS. This is strictly for like the contract if this was a lease. So you have the ability to select VFS if this was a lease. And so if you don't select a ship to and a bill to, then when you go to your proposal, there won't be a customer address. So it's important to select the ship to at least for the proposal, so the address shows on the proposal and obviously then shows on the contract. So once those are done, you can begin your quote. So I'll have a separate video for how to do a stock machine. So you have two choices, stock or new. One of the things that I like about this on the iPad is that you can enlarge to make these fields bigger. So I'm going to do a new machine that we do not have in stock. So to do that, I just click in this box and then start typing. So I will pick, let's say, an A40. So I type in A40. Now, so for everybody's benefit, this menu will be full of all different models that we used to have, A40D, A40E, and that's just simply because those models can't be marked inactive in our business system, because we might have an A40E in our used fleet, or we might acquire one. Also in our database, it keeps track of all the machines that we've sold. So over time, we'll have a true machine population list. So that's why typing in an A40, it wouldn't just show the most recent model, an A40G. You just have to find it. And so here's A40G. And then I'm going to click the plus sign. Okay, so now it pulls in the A40G. In the options section, it pulls in the price page and a warranty. We just chose 3 or 5,000 Premier as kind of the standard offering on a 40, but I'll get to that point where I can show you how you can change that. So the first part is configuring the machine. And so this is a scroll menu here. It only shows you about 6 options, but this little box with a magnifying glass right here next to options, by clicking on this, you're going to pull up the entire price page from Volvo. Okay, a couple of things to note here. The standard options are going to be default checked on the left, and also on the far right it says standard with like a little green box with a check mark in it. It's always going to remain checked kind of as a reminder that, hey, if I choose different tires, let's say let's say I choose these Goodyear tires instead of the Michelin's. It'll always remain flagged green for standard, like, hey, the Michelin's were the standard tire, and I have to remove the Michelin. Okay. And then you can scroll down. What I like about this is it gives you the entire price page at one time, not in categories. So you can just continue scrolling. You can select what you need to. Exhaust, body heat, check that. Tailgate, exhaust, body heat, spill guard if you want. So when you're done building your machine, you just click OK, and then everything will have been updated there. One of the things I've noticed is that when you delete something, it'll mark it and show you that it's deleted, so you know. It doesn't simply just remove it, but just know and be confident that when you get to the proposal, those Michelin tires will not be there. It does work. So after you have your build done, you can come down to miscellaneous items. And so warranty, for example, the default was 3 or 5,000 hour Premier. This is a drop-down menu. So if you were to select warranty, it'll pull up the 4 most commonly sold warranties. So 3 or 5 component, 3 or 5 full, 3 or 6 component, 3 or 6 full. So if you didn't need the 3 or 5 Premier, you can select whichever other one you want. Let's say 3 or 5,000 hour major comp. Works the same way. Just click the plus sign. Okay, but now I'm going to have to remove the 3 or 5. And so I would simply just delete that. And you'll see it'll treat it the same way, where it'll kind of highlight it and have that blue arrow. But it has been successfully deleted. Okay. So I'll do a separate video with trade-ins, although trade-ins work kind of the same way, where it's manual entry. But I'll add another item. So let's say, service could be a work order, or service could be PM services. Other could be like finance subsidy. So for this example, let's say I'll choose other. And you don't have to select anything from this menu that pulls up in the screen. You can just click in the box and start typing. So I'm going to type finance subsidy. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the next field, item. You have to type something in here, but it's not something that is important. Like, I'll just put maybe 2.5% of ATF, amount to finance. I go to the next field, which is cost price. Then I'm going to type in, I don't know, let's say $12,500. And then I'll click the plus sign. So if I scroll down within this section, you'll see that finance subsidy has been added. So once I finish the configuration and the miscellaneous, I can come down here to total sell price and then enter my price for the sale. Tab or enter. And then I'll click save. This one's going to give me an error, but I wanted everyone to see why. So at the very top, it says enter delivery time. So the only other thing that you have to do is in the bottom left, delivery time. When do you expect to deliver the machine? I pick the end of the month and I'm going to save it. Once it is saved, it'll tell you at the top, quote successfully created. I'm going to come back down and I'm going to press submit. And submit is what should trigger the email to the branch manager to approve the deal. And so once it's approved, you'll be able to come in and print the quote from here. I'll also have another video on where else you can print the quote and then also the contract. So hopefully that will help learning how to build a deal that we can configure.